Dude, that was an NBA straight like dunk right there.
I carpet burned my knee. It hurts. I, here's the intro. It's the intro. Let me get my 360 in. Hang on.
Oh god, here we go.
I don't think I can bounce it off the backboard in 360. I got it. Let's big screen that boy, and here we are.
Here we are.
Easy peasy. This is
Variety
the
Pack
episode
Podcast.
today. Hey,
Yeah.
which it's crazy. Welcome to the Variety Pack Podcast, episode 3. Just Jake
Not
and
as
Zach.
much variety. Yeah, not as much variety. today.
Just Jake and Zach, not the other guy, as he will
Not-
be referred to on this one.
not the other flavor
The
today.
other guy. Looks like we're 75% white this one, huh? But
I guess that's accurate actually.
yep.
So,
I guess that's where we're at.
that's where
Because
we're at.
the other guy doesn't answer anything in the year of 2021, where phones have been around for quite a while now, and he can't
multiple
respond.
forms,
Multiple
forms of communication, Discord, text message, phone.
And this dude messages you about a message. Brawlhalla
Bra.
tier list this morning at 10 o'clock. Doesn't respond to our podcast messages from last night about 9 o'clock being okay. The least he could have done is say, hey, I can't make it. But since he didn't say that, it's going on without him.
I was just checking to make sure from this other guy if there was. Oh no, there was an Instagram post today from the other guy, 11 hours ago.
Oh, the other guy.
Yeah, where's the other guy at?
Probably
Quality.
taking pictures at another
Probably.
place. Yeah, the other guy, man. So you know what's crazy though? No, even this week without him, you know what? The visual is the same because there's still just 2 cameras on.
That is true.
It's
That
crazy.
is accurate. Nothing's changed.
All we did was
Nothing.
take it. So maybe we should be just like the other guy, and let's just fire off some things he would say. The other guy. So Zach, imagine what if your wife came home and what if your wife came home and found you watching talking about abortion? That's the type of question.
No, the other guy.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, the other guy.
The other guy.
That's what the other guy would say.
That is what the other guy would say, actually.
Now, Clips, imagine this. What if... Just knock down my controller. What if...
Bleep it out in editing.
Bleep it out in editing. Yeah, bleep out in the editing. Editor? And we have to say thank you to Caleb for editing our video and making an entire new channel. Because
Yeah, that was great. Hey, shout out to you.
we
That was
appreciate
great.
it. We appreciate it. And
That's an organization.
Which, as much as I hate to go back to it because we had a YouTube channel with that name, but the other guy forgot the password because we let him be in charge of it, and that's on us for that, for letting the other guy handle that.
I think if we were to put that, into some percentages, probably, I would say probably like a 50, 25, 25, type of thing.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. And yeah, but no, when I'm starting this podcast tonight and I'm looking up topics and I'm trying my hardest and we're trying to stay consistent, and then he can't even message us back, I got heated. I had to go drop my AC down a little bit. It's normally on 72. I had to put it down on 70 because of how heated I'm getting.
Wow.
But that's not the point.
You had to drop a couple degrees
I
on
had to
him.
drop a couple degrees because of the other guy. But
I mean, yeah. You did great with the topics. I just want to.
yeah, I'm
say,
excited to get into it. That one, we almost talked about it too much ahead of time.
Yeah, I know we did kind of.
But that's how interesting it was.
Yeah. I mean, we could, we can briefly touch on it again. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Just go over it.
Right, right. Let me see here. Let me do something real quick. How do you?
I wish we could do. I I think I'm gonna try and come up with a way to um do a sort of like a split, like cams in the corner, and then rest of the like screen would be whatever website, Discord, whatever.
Yeah. So I do want to talk about this because we can start out with this one just because it was more interesting in my opinion. Talking about this, Murdaugh, is that really how you say that? You think Murdaugh?
I think Murdaugh,
maybe.
Yeah.
But this whole family murdered thing, after we looked over it for about 15 minutes, got super interesting.
Yeah.
So to get into the recent side of things, a few days ago,
what are you looking for?
I was just finding the date of what day that happened. On September 4th. So it's been a couple of weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
So on September 4th, this attorney, Alex Murdaugh, he calls 911. This dude gets shot in the head by an unidentified man while he's changing a tire on the side of the road, not super far from his house. So he gets shot in the head. He survives. A week later, the guy who gets shot in the head admits to authorities that he had conspired with the man who shot him to kill him as part of an insurance fraud scheme. So this guy was going to try to get that insurance money, to which would leave his son, Buster, $10 million in life insurance payout. So the dude he wanted to die, but this way his son would get that money too.
Mm-hmm.
And basically he's on trial now for conspiracy to commit insurance fraud, basically.
Months earlier, his wife and son were also killed, they were killed in an unsolved murder by, obviously no one knows. It could have been Alex, but we don't know.
So
which is,
let me read it here. So on June 7th this year, so emergency dispatchers, I'll just read the story here, received a 911 call from Alex, the guy who was shot in the head later. He told them that he had arrived at the family's estate in Islandton, South Carolina, to find the body of his wife and his son, Paul, on the ground next to dog kennels. So Maggie, his wife, had been shot multiple times with a semi-automatic rifle, and his son, Paul, had been shot twice with a shotgun. Assuming they're thinking there was two shooters involved since there was two weapons. This Alex guy, he denied, responsibility of the killings, obviously. Randy Murdaugh, which is Alex's brother, believes that he made the statement, "My brother loved Maggie and loved Paul like nothing else on this earth. So there's no possible way he could have anything to do with this, I can assure you." But let's we back it up a little bit with the son who was murdered in 2019, with Paul, the son who was murdered, Alex's son. So Paul was involved with an incident with a boat wreck, assuming he was driving under the influence. Paul was driving the boat, which ended up killing a 19-year-old girl, Mallory Beach. So he was being on trial for that. So he was on trial still and hadn't been sentenced guilty or not. But then he was murdered, so now that was never going to happen. And then, which is another weird thing, and that relates to the murder of those two, Maggie and Paul, because some people are kind of thinking maybe it was a revenge thing for someone who was trying to do justice for Mallory, the girl who died on the boat wreck while Paul was driving. It's just such a line of things, and this is just in 2 years span all this happens.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, the way that, he set up or tried to set up the assisted suicide, I guess. A guy like that, I mean, maybe he would be changing his own tire, but this dude's an attorney, I think he has enough money for AAA. I feel like he's the type of person that would call
Yeah, that's a
and
really
have
good point.
someone, he doesn't seem like this dude's probably driving a Mercedes or something,
Yeah,
or,
and I don't know. I read a little bit into the story that I wasn't even talking about out loud when we were discussing it earlier. But he comes from like a long line of attorneys, like since the 1920s.
yeah.
This
So
family
this
has
dude
been.
already
They got
is
money.
wealthy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially, and they got like a 1400 estate. Like
Yes.
when you use
So
the
this
word
dude's not
estate.
changing his own. Yeah, this dude's not changing his own
Yeah,
tire.
I didn't
This
think
that
about
that's
that. Yeah,
yeah. This is sus all
yeah.
the way. Well, which I mean, obviously is come to fruition. That it is. But
I just want
I
to
mean,
know. I can't see anything about guns, like how what the gunshot wound was to this guy's head. I just want to know like where it hit him at to where he didn't die
yeah,
from it, or what kind of gun it was, or something. His dream was to be a mechanic, but he had to follow the family business to please his father. so, so he wanted to chase his dream before he died by changing a tire and then
yeah.
dying doing that. What a beautiful thing. But so let's go back a little bit further
Oh,
with some of this
Curtis
stuff.
Edward Smith.
So that boat crash was one of the things that kicked it off, but then we go back to 2015. So the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division said it was opening an investigation into the death of 19-year-old Stephen Smith, whose body was found July 8, 2015 on a rural road about 8 miles west of the Murdaugh estate. So at the time, police said Smith had a massive head wound and they believed he'd been struck by a vehicle. No suspect was ever charged. Authorities have not revealed what new information led them to reopen the investigation into Smith's death. Smith and Buster Murdaugh were classmates at Wade Hampton High School. So Buster is the remaining son out of this whole thing, right? The only one that we can assume might actually be normal, but may not be at the same time. So he's not normal anymore at this point. He's going to need some therapy. The Murdaughs have been accused of wrongdoing in this case, and no evidence has connected the family to Smith's death, or have not been accused of wrongdoing. I'm sorry. But the victim's mother, in June, she doesn't believe her son was a victim of a hit and run, which obviously, I mean, it's hard to take a mom's word on that. Obviously, emotion's going to run high in what she's thinking.
Yeah.
Reopening the investigation was long overdue, the mom said. Yeah, she always felt like Stephen's death was put on the back burner and nobody ever looked for answers or justice. And then another weird thing connected with this. So in 2018, on Wednesday, South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, the death of Gloria Sanderfield, and she was a housekeeper. Who was she a housekeeper for? She spent 20 years working for the Murdaugh family. So she was 57. She died at the Murdaugh estate in what was declared at the time as a trip and fall accident, according to attorney Eric Bland, who is representing her estate. The Law Enforcement Division said it's opening an investigation based upon a request from the Hampton County coroner that highlights inconsistencies in the ruling of her death. Information gathered basically involving Alex Murdaugh now. So the death was ruled as natural, which is inconsistent with the injury sustained in a trip and fall accident. So it looks like
that doesn't make sense.
It was a lot rougher than a trip and fall from what it looked like to the coroner. Okay, this week Bland also filed a civil lawsuit alleging Murdaugh proposed the housekeeper's two sons sue him so they could collect their mother's life insurance settlement. Murdaugh then introduced the sons to a fellow attorney to represent them in the lawsuit without disclosing to them that the attorney was a close friend. Ooh, interesting. So basically he had a close friend be like, yeah, you guys should get this attorney to help you out. And the sons received a partial settlement of $505,000, but have not seen any of it to date, the lawsuit states. Wow. So the housekeeper's children have not seen any of the money that they were promised for their mother's death.
Wait, so if you go down just after that article, this is him walking into the courtroom
Yeah,
on September 16th.
after he just got shot on September 4th.
This doesn't make sense. Where's the headshot wound?
It had to graze him.
It had to have, and it, unless they're saying head is maybe he got shot maybe in the mouth or something, but I doubt that.
Yeah.
I mean, this really doesn't make sense. At one point he appeared to wipe tears from his eyes. This doesn't make sense. This whole thing doesn't make sense.
So the most they got on this guy is insurance fraud, right? Like,
yeah, I guess at absolute most, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, insurance fraud, and then I guess faking your death would be. I don't know if that's actually a charge. But
hang on, let's see. Murdaugh was arrested Thursday and appeared in court in handcuffs before being released on bond. The redhead, known to his friends as Big Red, looked thinner and grayer than he had in previous family snapshots. At one point, he appeared to wipe tears from his eyes. In a statement of CNN, his attorneys, Dick Harpootlian and Jim Griffin, said their client is not without fault, but they blamed his issues on an opioid addiction. These individuals took advantage of his addiction, his ability to pay substantial funds for illegal drugs, the attorney said. One of those individuals took advantage of his mental illness and agreed to take Alex's life by shooting him in the head. Huh.
I mean, that's kind of fair because the dude who shot him.
Yeah, that's a lawyer spin right there, though.
Yeah, that is a lawyer spin, but also, I mean, it kind of makes sense because the dude who shot him kind of looks like he might be on opioids, so...
Yeah, if you had to gamble, yeah, maybe. He looks rough.
He's a little rough looking, so...
Murdaugh has announced a $100,000 reward for information linked to the arrest and the conviction of the parties responsible for the deaths of his wife and son. So we got all kinds of tons, but that's kind of where the story is at right now. But man, that whole thing was just so interesting to see how much has connected to all this around this Murdaugh estate.
Yeah,
and like everything's within like a 20-mile radius of their estate too. That happened. But
this is it's like one of those like party games that you play like the murder mystery party games, like, and you have to figure out who murdered who, like, except this is real life, and it kind of sucks,
right? And we're on one podcast without the other guy, and what we've already this has turned into a true crime podcast now.
Yeah,
this is true crime now. Hang on a second.
Next, we'll be reacting to murder mysteries.
Oh boy, I hope so.
I mean, you streamed that other thing. The what was it, DW? What was his what was his name? The dude who jumped out of the plane. With the money.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Something. Initials, and I don't remember.
Yeah, I forgot his name. That was an interesting thing to actually watch. DB Cooper.
Yeah.
That's it.
DB Cooper. Yeah, DB Cooper.
Thank you, Sam.
Camera looks really great today.
Yeah. Well, we don't say that name right now. He is the other guy.
The other guy's camera. Yeah.
The other guy's camera was working fine if he would have got on, but the other guy didn't show up. So the other guy doesn't get to be in the podcast on this week until he can actually message us back.
Dude, I'm just waiting for this dude's name to pop up in the chat.
That's true. He could join into the call at any time, couldn't he? And he's going to be like on his phone. There's going to be a fan or something like that. It's going to be, hey guys, I'm sleeping. And that's what it's going to be.
Oh man, the podcast is today.
What's the podcast? That was tonight.
What time is it?
Like, man, I really wanted to talk about this Instagram video I saw. I really want to talk to you guys about what you thought about OnlyFans and Patreon.
Oh, I know he wanted to talk about women proposing to men.
Oh, yeah, and that is that's it. Now, Zach, tell me, would you have said yes if your wife proposed to you?
He asked me that same question the other day when he originally sent me the video.
Cause like I'm thinking like I don't know, man. Like I would want to be the one who does it. You know what I'm saying? And then he would go on and say the same thing in seven different ways because he's the other guy. And he'd be like, and then it would be Schlag. What about you? And then I would have stopped listening for a while and be like, what about what? It's like, what if your wife proposed to you? And then I would have said probably something similar to along the lines where I'm like, you know, like, oh, I'm not 100% against it, but I don't know. I guess I prefer to be the one to do it, and I get it. But and he'd be like, now see, do you think though, is it kind of like, should it be like a new thing that women get to propose to men? And that's what that conversation. I just reenacted it, but I did about 37 minutes faster than he would have.
Yeah.
Than the other
guy.
Look at this. This is the mystery flavor Mountain Dew this year.
Look at that.
It's voodoo. Last year they made it and it tasted like garbage. This year it tastes like sweet tarts and I really like it.
Are you pretty sure it's? I mean, maybe your taste buds just haven't changed. Why would they change the formula?
Yeah. No, I looked it up. Yeah, I went to Reddit and everything, and Reddit confirmed that it was different.
Okay. Reddit confirmed that it was different. Is this the one that turned your
that's the Liberty
everything
Dew.
blue?
That's the Liberty.
Oh yeah.
Did you see my new review on the one I drank? The Baja Punch?
I did actually. I did.
How it made me poop. You guys have topics, or are you holding off till the other guy shows off? No, we got some topics. You missed it. We talked about the Murdaugh family case. I kind of said I think you would actually find it interesting, Sam. You should look up this Murdaugh family saga thing, just to give you a basis of it. But I guess you have to look it up in the YouTube version. But there's the little page about it just to talk about it. But I lost my train of thought because I was too busy shitting on the other guy.
Liberty Dew.
Oh, the Liberty Dew.
Is that the last thing?
Yeah, the Liberty Dew made my poop blue. Yes, that orange one, that made my poop very orange. This one is a clear color. I'm very excited to see what it does to me.
Was the the hot fry flavor, was that a real thing? Hot Cheeto flavor? Mountain Dew?
I don't know.
Or no, Flamin' Hot. Flamin' Hot, that's what it was.
Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew? I did not hear about this. I have not tried that.
I just saw pictures. I know sent me one, but I also saw it before that as well. Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew. Apparently this is the real thing. Oh, it's even on their website.
MountainDew.com.
Yeah, good old MountainDew.com. I'd try it, I think. I'd probably try this. I don't know how you do spicy as a drink, though.
She said his name again, Caleb said. That's another bleep.
Wait, did I say it?
We might have when we were talking about him mentioning the drink.
Oh, I think I said it.
I wanted to get mad about the Met Gala thing, but that might actually be one that would be more fun to here too.
That one probably would be more fun.
I'm not saying like
the other guy.
Crap, the other guy. Just edit out the last 30 minutes. It's fine. But no, I did want to talk about this whole thing going on with Australia, which was so excited to talk about Australia a few weeks ago. Not happening now, huh? But I said his name again. The other guy was sorry, Caleb. I'm gonna give up at this point.
That's hilarious.
The other guy. Just Jake and Zach, not the other guy. Hang on, let me pull up this other thing. Oh, man. Okay. So, the Australian government has established a future nuclear submarine task force, which will work with the UK and the US over the next 12 to 18 months to determine the best way to acquire boats. So, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, Joe Biden, and Boris Johnson have jointly announced the formation of a new tripartite, a new alliance known as the AUKUS, under which the first initiative will to build at least 8 nuclear-powered submarines for the Royal Australian Navy. I about said Army, it's the Navy. Okay, so which the Australians actually had a contract with the France Naval Group for the construction of 12 conventional submarines, which were known as the Attack Class in the Royal Australian Navy Service. They had an agreement with France to build that, and then that got terminated. So now, so France is apparently mad at Australia now for this.
Well, I mean, but they didn't follow through. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
They probably didn't build it. I mean, and this could be COVID related, honestly, but I mean,
Australia is not. So this is what the Prime Minister of Australia said. Australia is not seeking to acquire nuclear weapons or establish a civil nuclear capability, and we will continue meet all our nuclear non-proliferation obligations. So they're kind of like saying, "Don't worry, guys.
We're not going to use these to bomb anybody. This is just for
nuclear. Say nuclear.
Why did they say this? This is weird.
What?
Just
the comment.
Yeah. Australia is not seeking to acquire nuclear weapons or establish.
It's just kind of.
Are they just going to use this for like spying? That's the only other thing I can think of. It with this sentence.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
I'm looking at it, and I'm still not 100% sure. And apparently a lot of people in Australia are very upset about this because it's being built in Melbourne, like just off the coast, I think, of Melbourne, it said here.
Oh.
Well, no, it's actually Adelaide, Australia. So, but it is like off the coast of Australia they're doing this. Weird to me that Australia, the UK, and the US are coming together to build nuclear submarines. It's kind of a weird thing. I don't know what the UK and US's involvement is in this.
Well, I'm pretty sure the US, probably next to maybe Russia, has the most expertise in nuclear submarines.
I guess that would make sense. The UK, it's kind of weird, but the EU is like completely being like cut out of this deal, though. Anyone in the European Union, so the
I don't. Yeah, what are they doing though?
Yeah, I don't know. Change the part like this. Anyhow, though, I this was picking up some activity because people were apparently getting really upset about this because a lot of money is also going into it from Australia. But talking about Australia, did you see Australia's like starting to do like geo tracking of people and stuff like that now? Let me look up before I say something stupid. Hang on.
Are they using the chips embedded in the COVID vaccine?
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah, because Australia news was like they've been in
nice
the
position
past
south
few
of
weeks.
China.
Apparently, honestly, there's been like Chinese like Navy ships that have been like cruising the coast of like Alaska too, like right on the border of where they could cross.
Dude, because they're scheming. They're plotting.
Yeah, France is very upset about this deal falling through. They're mad at the U.S. too about it.
Oh, I forgot that. Sarah Palin can actually see Russia from her backyard.
Huh.
Letting you know that.
Wow. Remember that show she had?
Was it with her daughter and everything in there too?
I don't remember what
like
it's called. What was that Sarah Palin
and
show?
The daughter got pregnant at like 16 or 17 or something like that.
Sarah Palin was quite the character. It's a shame we could never have her as a vice president. That was an opportunity that missed up. That could have been a good old meme.
That was yeah. She was like the biggest up to that point. I think like the rockiest person in politics, and then some other stuff happened. I think I don't know. There's another, might be just Australia. There's another country that has a pretty good.
Oh, okay. Here's what happened
Navy fleet.
Yeah, I figured out what was going on with Australia. Okay, so their lockdown, they like went hard on their COVID lockdown, and they actually deployed their military to keep people inside their houses. So people were like, well, this is insane, because they had literally military guards out in the streets with guns forcing people back into their homes.
Okay, that's a little excessive.
Yeah,
that's a lot. I didn't hear about that though.
It didn't get pushed too high up.
Wow. If
Yeah,
that happened in America, dude, there would be.
but
I
yeah,
don't think that would
which
work at all.
now like the anti-lockdown people in Australia are running like wild with it, um, where it's kind of like crazy. But like, here I'll send you. Let me send you a little something here.
Some.
Little something. Kale's playing XCOM.
Oh,
But
I
you
have
can
XCOM,
you can see
but I don't have real XCOM. I have XCOM Declassified. It's like a third-person shooter. It's not like a RTS. I think XCOM is like a RTS.
yeah. Is that what it is? Yeah, it might be. I don't know. Caleb, what's XCOM?
I'm sorry, I'm getting us off topic, but
Oh no,
I'm
it's okay.
curious. It's my weakness.
Turn based.
Yeah. Where is it? I have it.
Yeah, they shut it down like public transport systems too, and they started enforcing vehicle checkpoints, and they're basically saying the ease will only. The Daniel Andrews said restrictions will only ease when 70% of eligible residents receive their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Right now, 56% of people have done it. But Australia also has some of the lowest numbers in the world right now too, which is interesting. So,
Do you believe the numbers that
man, that's I just don't. It's kind of one of those things where you're like, surely they're not faking it, right? And like,
yeah.
But there's been so much stuff with like over the past month to 2 months probably with Dr. Fauci, and like how he had some stake in some stuff that was like for some type of virus thing way before this started, and there's a lot of like goofy things going on. I want to say it is real, and there's actually a lot of people affected by it. I would say that the numbers probably aren't fake. Surely there's that many people having problems with it. I guess like the issue is from the start. The issue's always been are people who are dying are also getting like COVID slapped on their thing. I like when my grandma died. Her original cause of death was hunger. She died of starvation, is what they said when she went in her sleep, but 3 days later, they changed her death certificate to COVID-19. And then you find out also nursing homes are getting in America at least, are getting like a reimbursement from government if some of their people die from COVID-19. Some of the residents do.
It's honestly kind of sad.
Yeah.
It is sad, actually.
Yeah.
What about the numbers from like, I think China saying that they haven't had, or well, I think they haven't had a case, or
now there's like if someone was gonna, because North Korea was the same way, saying that but man, both the you can't trust either of those, I feel like.
Yeah,
probably.
that's.
And also if this started in China, right, with the in the research lab supposedly, right? I mean they have come to that conclusion that that's where it's at now. Until we get more information. So, I mean, it would be surprising that if the place that caused the global pandemic is doing that fine, even with as much social distancing as possible and whatever it might be. I don't know. I would like to think that surely most people aren't lying about this, you know what I mean? That I just think it's probably harder to commit a conspiracy just because there's always like, every place has got janitors who don't care about their job. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's always someone who doesn't care that much about their job who would say something, right? So I mean, maybe, but to such an extreme degree, probably not. But I don't know. There's things I don't like, and there's things I do like, and but COVID has been like one of the like worst things to go through. It seems like
it sucks
in the past 100 years.
Yeah, but I mean, let's just take a look at the flip side of things, though. Let's talk about some positives. We know that it's bad, yes, and we know that
positives of COVID.
Yeah,
okay.
We know that people have died. We're not, or at least I'm not, taking away from that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think what flu is down uh by a lot, I think,
I
this
think even
year.
like the general cold went down.
Yeah. We have different services, different ways that we now do things. Uh Grocery delivery, several stores doing grocery delivery, more ease of access to transportation, and just cleaner guidelines in general.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, it's
there
that's one thing.
there can
Work
be a
from home
positive.
becoming popular. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Work
That
from, like jobs that can actually be done from home.
no, that's for sure. I would say that's probably the best thing. Realizing that a
Yeah,
lot of these jobs could be done from home.
yeah.
Um,
Like, why do we have like giant call center buildings, and someone they can just
oh
send
yeah,
you some equipment to your house,
that's true.
and
Yeah.
I mean,
Why waste your building space, right? Why rent a building out when then
yeah,
people just get their home? You probably, I would imagine you're paying less in maintenance for the building upkeep than you would for someone getting their equipment set up at their
yeah,
house,
yeah, yeah,
100%, right? and then
yeah.
and then they're home all the time, so I'm sure like you could probably cut down on their insurance premiums if you want to. But uh
Possibly, yeah.
but for the most part, it's easy to focus on the bed, but I mean, there's definitely some good stuff that came out of it. You're right. I do like how much online service stuff has boomed up.
Yeah.
Um, I think, I think there was a sweet spot in there somewhere too, and also I think there when it first happened and the hype of it all, and just how hard it was to find toilet paper at first and stuff like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
I hope it gave like people an appreciation almost, for the easier times.
Yeah.
There's been a major shift in people's willingness to work low paying, poor condition jobs. I see a lot of stuff about minimum wage jobs struggling to find workers. So yeah, government assistance during this, because they bumped it up like the unemployment, right? Um, so now a lot of people don't get to work right now, but that's true. I mean, you'll have to see if that holdout will eventually make people treat their workers better or not, because it kind of feels like everyone's hiring right now. So
It does, but what's crazy, like, well, like you just said, like no one really wants to go work at McDonald's for, I don't know, $10 an hour.
yeah.
Like the other day, like just I think 2 weeks ago, uh, we went out. I was actually going to get Wingstop, and I just was decided to go get my kids some McDonald's, and we were in line, and another lady. There was like probably 10 cars ahead of us. Another lady comes around the side. She was in the front of the line. She says they're closed.
Oh wow,
Basically, this was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
because they didn't
The
have enough
workers,
people.
yeah, the workers didn't have enough people
That's
to do
crazy.
anything. Yeah,
That's crazy. Yeah, I
yeah.
know. Yeah, because it seems to be What was I heard? I think Kohl's,
The outlet store,
the store. They're like
hmm
starting you at like 17 an hour right now.
dude. I mean, that's pretty good.
I'm not sure if
That's
you would get 40 hours at Kohl's, but I mean, still, if you're like a 17-year-old looking for a job,
dude. That's bread.
yeah, that's some bread. That'd be worth. Did you work at a Kohl's one time?
Me?
Yeah, you never worked
No.
at a Kohl's. No,
I was a Sam's Club boy.
Sam's Club. That's right. I knew that.
Mhm. Yeah. When I
Sam
dude,
worked
and
at
I
a
mean,
Kohl's. I do remember you telling me that, Sam.
uh,
You probably were making 17 an hour, but that's I guess a holdout would have to happen with these companies too, and deciding what they want to do. Um, because
I mean,
before, I mean, now they got to compete again, right? I mean, that's kind of the thing.
yeah, that
I
is
got to start
true.
competing. I
Well,
do. I
see,
do get
here's
surprised when I go to like a fast food place and I'm like, "Oh, you're still here, huh?" Like,
I mean, once the OnlyFans craze dies down, these girls are gonna have to go back to work soon, So, I mean,
OnlyFans shuts down to me. right into the
Yeah.
employment line.
Yeah. They're gonna have to go back
Oh
to
my
work. I
gosh.
mean, they're gonna have to go back to McDonald's,
Yeah.
back to Kohl's, back to
The
Walmart.
OnlyFans stops, the TikTok fund runs out, and all of a sudden,
Yeah,
boom, back into the fast food
yeah,
industry they go.
back into the fast food industry.
Oh my god.
I mean, because that's where they were before. I mean,
That's true, because I
okay,
guess,
or nursing school. They're all in nursing school.
dude, when we go on Kindle's Tinder, we closed at 7 tonight, so you got off early just because there's not that many people working. That's insane. McDonald's closing at 7 p.m. I actually haven't ran into a problem where a place was closed. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, like, because OnlyFans definitely skyrocketed during the pandemic, right? Like, that was a thing that happened. Well, and another thing, it's just all stupid leading to other stupid, is when they shut down all these factories and all of a sudden all these people are on unemployment. They're like, you know what? This is a lot better than working. They're like, I was making 1,000 when I worked 40 hours. Now I'm making 700 not working. And, they're kind of like, you weigh those options out.
Yeah, they're weighing the frozen.
But then, government forces you to shut down your building, and then they're gonna realize that, hey, you know what? I don't want to go back to work. 7 people are out this week. That's insane. Because of COVID, or because like they just didn't work.
So I'm not doing this anymore.
I do not. Man, wearing a mask at a fast food job would suck. I used to come home so greasy and gross. I can't imagine if I wore a mask, that thing would be dripping with sweat by the time I got done. That'd be a safety hazard when I was done with it. Oh, it'd be so gross.
Dude, I couldn't. When I was, looking for jobs like that, like I tried to avoid like fast food. I don't think I could do the fast food. I mean, I could if I had to, but I tried my best to avoid applying for fast food places. Uh, mainly, mainly for my hair. I can't cut the mane.
Yeah, I was allowed to have a beard at my fast food job, which was
You
stupid.
weren't, or oh, okay, yeah.
Which I didn't even know I could grow a beard until I quit that job. My sister got laid off for COVID and realized she hated her job when it started back up, and she quit. And that's, I mean, yeah. If it comes to the realization that some people realize, hey, I don't like working this job.
Yeah.
Everywhere else is hiring right now. I got some options. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's almost as if people realize their self-worth during COVID.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, I'm worth more than $7.50 an hour.
Yeah, on the rough side of things, even like if you're getting money for not working, I think having a job is still important for your mentality, in my opinion. Because at some point, if you're not doing anything, you know what I mean, I think
you feel useless.
I think you fall into depression there.
Yeah, no, that's fair, I think.
And I do think work is a good thing like a lot of the time, because I think you want to feel value for yourself. Now there is a point where your self-worth is getting taken advantage of, right? But there is a point where you're going to fall into a pit of depression because you're not doing anything. So I think a lot of people are also in that right now as well. So on the negative side of things, but also once you start working, after about year 2 back into working, you're like, oh, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
So it just depends. I think a lot of people settle and give up on themselves, and that's a big problem too. So like the other guy who didn't show up tonight.
Dude, the other guy.
I hope the other guy realizes what he's done by not showing up tonight. He has soiled our friendship slightly. He's gonna owe us something. And
I mean, I think I'm fine.
No, he owes us something. No.
Is he gonna do a podcast by himself?
Yeah, that's, you know what? Next week, the other guy's podcast. That's what it's gonna be. VPP. Yeah. Now it's the other guy's turn. Will be the name of the episode. And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna shut off our cameras. We're gonna stay in here, and we're not gonna say a word.
we'll join a different channel and just just
Yeah,
watch
yeah, we'll be in the chat. How about
watch him
that?
have a conversation with himself.
So you guys, uh, and then
Dude,
he'll
there's so
freeze it.
many you can go with. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Oh, speaking of finances and COVID and whatnot, this has more to do with, I guess, finances. There's this dude. Um, he 5 years ago he took a pay cut of $1 million. And he's a CEO of a credit card
I
processing
saw
company.
this. I saw this.
Yeah, and he raised everybody who works there salary to $70,000. Everybody told this dude that his company was gonna fail and whatnot, and now he's making like, well, the company is making like 3 times more than what they were doing.
Yeah,
All of their employees have had an increase in like they've all a lot of them have children, a lot of them have bought in homes. uh their turnover rates were cut in half.
yeah.
Like,
And I, when you see stuff like that, I do wonder. I wish we could see like the like step by step plan that he set up. You know what I mean? Because like
yeah,
I feel like I feel like
well, he says he's tried to reach out to other companies, but no
yeah,
one wants to follow suit.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure there's like a way to do it, and I bet he needs to like. I honestly should write something about it because I don't think every company could just do it and succeed. You know what I mean? There is an area for failure there. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah,
I wish you could see his like plan so that way people would understand like how he got there.
yeah.
Um, I would assume because like if you're just starting up a business, obviously that kind of idea probably wouldn't work.
No.
I do wonder how far and like can every type of business do that? You know what I mean? If maybe just the type of business he's in could do that too. So yeah, I do wonder about that, but it is it's a positive thing to see, right? That you can
Yeah.
do something like that and then actually the company can thrive. So
Yeah, this is like less about him making money and more about just seeing like his people like thrive, I think.
yeah, yeah.
um which is, a good human trait, a good,
Oh yeah, for
person
sure.
trait.
I do
Look at
hope
this dude's hair too, though.
he's got long hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this dude. Yeah. I do hope that with his uh I feel like with more competition and as the future keeps growing, I mean, there's just so many small businesses blooming every day. You know what I mean? I do
Yeah.
hope we see like more competition in the business side of things to where, just where that kind of stuff can actually start taking effect. And I think COVID is another impact in that kind of way. So
Yeah, my only thing with that, so here's my like, I kind of have like two predictions, I guess. They could probably branch off into more. So, like, this could be good for people, just general workers, getting a better quality job, higher pay and whatnot. Obviously, there's probably trade-offs to that,
yeah,
you know, in economics, or, in the economic side of things. Uh Long term, I don't know what those are. At the On the other side, my other kind of like theory um is it could kind of go to a more, I guess, worse side of things, where companies are not willing to pay, especially once we start hitting like this like grinding point of, if no one wants to work,
yeah.
but eventually someone will have to work. So
Well, I
they're
what I'm wondering is like, I feel like if the thing is if companies are forcing their hand to pay people more and give them better conditions, I'm worried that you might just force the company's hand to do more automation. You know what I mean?
that yeah that and I was gonna say, there's like McDonald's is already looking into automation.
Oh,
I think Chipotle is looking at
have you
automation.
seen the Amazon pop up stores? You walk in, okay, it scans something. I think something in your phone. You
Hmm.
grab the item off the shelf and you leave, and it charges your Amazon account as you leave. You don't
Oh
even
yeah,
you
yeah,
make
I
no
have seen that.
you
Yeah.
grab it and you leave, and then Amazon is also now, I believe they're testing automatic semis now. So,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Which I
this
think that
could.
stuff was inevitable, but if the hand gets
Yeah,
forced,
no,
do they
yeah.
speed that up?
That's the thing. Yeah, like it's gonna be. It'll be worse if that does get forced in a way that's or it could still be good, I guess. The jobs that people don't want to do, for example, let's just use McDonald's for example.
Yeah,
Uh, you know,
that's
or any fast food in general.
right.
If they have automation, maybe the people who were working there can go work for the company that builds the robots or,
Voting.
whatever. So maybe it'll create another avenue of for people to do.
Yeah, and
But I
that's
don't
kind
know.
of always the thing. It's just kind of like McDonald's workers. Um, you know, I've done that job. It's not a mentally hard job. You know what I mean? Like and I think that's where the problem is like setting up automation for, a restaurant is a lot higher skill than being a fast food worker. And I think that's where the issue is when you do create like 1,000 jobs in that sense, you know what I mean, in a whole new field. But then, the unskilled workers are the issue, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
the because you're working at McDonald's not because you want to, it's because they were hiring and you were qualified, right?
yeah.
Um, and it was money, like, and that's usually the reason. I remember the reason why a lot of people work there is because they don't drug test, stuff like that. So
Dude, our dealerships don't drug test either.
yeah, yeah. So stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do, because even in McDonald's now, mainly McDonald's is what I think of. But you go in, you don't even have to like really order at the register anymore. You just use their little touchscreen thing there.
Yeah, the
So,
touchscreen, yeah.
which I mean, I love, but
Yeah,
it does cancel out jobs for other people. So
yeah. Yeah, like Taco Bell and Wendy's,
oh yeah,
like they
they get
have
two.
like two people
Yeah,
like in the whole freaking thing. Like they'll have like a person at the window at the drive-through, and then they'll have a dude
yeah,
back there making burgers.
yeah,
Like
yeah, exactly. And I
and-
mean, which I know at McDonald's, you're not making the most you do is put the sandwich together. Most of the time, you're pressing a button to cook something. So that's
yeah,
it. But
yeah. Isn't it on like a little like kind of like a long countertop, and then you just like kind of go from station to station, basically? Is that how it works?
for
Or
making the sandwich,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So you got like
okay,
you got the buns and the toaster thing, and then you do your condiments, the pickle, whatever, and you put the meat on the cheese, close it, and you slide it down after you go. It's literally an assembly line setup.
yeah. Wow,
So
dude, a freaking robot can do that.
I think they'll get there eventually, but I would assume that's probably next. And the
Yeah,
grill, I mean, it's not like you flip anything. The most you do is take the meat off the thing and put it in the self checkouts at grocery stores. I have
dude.
not used an
Yes,
in person grocery like
yes.
line in probably since I was 17.
So we do occasionally because we buy a lot of groceries, but Walmart, dude. I went into Walmart the other day, uh, and I remember I was telling my wife like I remember as a kid, like during like Christmas time, seeing like I don't know, like 20 lanes
Yeah,
and just registers of people and then lines backed up. And then this Walmart that I went into, like half of those lanes, which they only had like maybe four actual like lanes with people. The rest of them were self checkout with conveyor belts. So like they've they've cut down so much.
yeah, yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. And the there's always the one person there at the self checkout whose only job is to scan something when maybe you didn't weigh your vegetable right or something like that. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. It's the guy with the little thing around his neck who has all the codes.
Caleb says we don't have any automation in our tiny store yet. Caleb works at the same one I did, which was a gas station McDonald's. So
Oh,
they didn't. Well, I've been to gas station ones that have automation, so that's surprising that one doesn't. Yeah, or check an ID for alcohol. Yeah, that's literally
oh
their
yeah,
only purpose, right?
yeah.
So
That's gonna be the hot job in a few years.
Yeah.
I'll be the ID checker.
That's true. Uh, I wonder. Yeah, I mean that's their main purpose there, right? And they occasionally have to type in a code when something doesn't get scanned
Yeah,
right. And
yeah,
that's about it. But yeah, I love like self checkout is so nice because
yeah.
they have like a
I also, I mean, that's like another. I feel like in the last 2 years, that's exploded more than anything as well.
That's true.
I
They
would
do tell
say
you to have a good day when you leave, but so does the machine. So,
it,
but
it does.
it does feel a little more real from the person, I will say. And then
I don't.
you know what makes me laugh when the door greeter doesn't even greet me. Like that's their only purpose.
I don't know. Some of those door greeters take their job a little too seriously, though.
Oh
It's
my,
like,
dude! Especially during COVID, they got that iPad to count the numbers of people coming in now, and
yeah,
they're like looking around. They're like, "All right, we got 346 now. All right." and then like as you're leaving, if you have a cart full of stuff, they're like, "You mind if I see your receipt, sir?"
yeah.
And like, we got to go through this. Really, I went through self checkout to avoid this. Have you ever I've accidentally stolen a few things through self checkout by
I don't know through self checkout, but just like by mistake of the actual person that was checking me
uh
out. Yeah.
I
So
there's been a few
I try
times
to be
where
very careful with the self checkout.
I tried to, but one time I remember I was like deodorant or something, and it fell out of where I had it, and it was like underneath some bags. And I was
Oh,
like, "Oh, I stole this deodorant." I was like, "Okay, well,
yeah. I actually have done that with a case of water. I forgot to take it from the bottom. I
oh,
put it on the very bottom. Yeah.
sir, hold up."
Yeah.
One time I was in high school, and I was walking into Walmart, and a guy was leaving with a hoodie on, and the lady comes out and stops, "Sir, please, we need you to return the toothbrush you took." And I was like, "Let the dude take the toothbrush. Like, you guys don't get paid enough to stop this."
Dude, some of those have you ever watched any like YouTube compilations of uh like store security like tackling people?
I have not, but we
Dude,
could
they're
watch
pretty
that
good.
sometime.
Yeah, it's
That
pretty
sounds
good.
pretty good. But I remember talking to one dude who's working at Walmart. He's like, "Yeah, some people really do stop him." I was like, "One day, someone literally walked out of here with a TV and nobody stopped them." So,
Yeah. Well, from what I've always heard, like you're not supposed to. Well, I don't know.
yeah, I
I've
don't have a
heard
rule on
several
that either.
different things. So, like I've seen like people chase people out the store, and then I've also seen where they're just like, I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Like, at what point can you do anything? You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
yeah.
Remember that video we watched of that dude who was the mall cop and somewhere in Georgia, I think,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and he
yeah,
tases that woman.
yeah,
Dude, and she just like falls.
yeah,
Dude, that was so funny. That was a different
yeah.
type of beast of a story, though. That guy was dealing with some degenerates.
No, yeah, that was yeah.
There are some places where you're gonna have to be a little more aggressive.
I was told to do nothing and just tell a manager if I saw theft vehicles. Yeah,
Yeah, that way they can inventory it off. There
I
is
remember
that.
one time they tested me at Sam's Club, dude. So you're supposed to. This was before self checkout. So I was a cashier. You're supposed to take everything off of one, like those flat carts, you know.
Yeah.
You're supposed to take everything off of that and then transfer it over to another. Well, I started doing it, you know, kinda ish. And a lady who worked there, she came up and I started transferring her stuff kinda, and she had like this box on there with some stuff in it. It was like a giant box of like foam cups.
Mhm.
And me and this other dude transferred it over, but it was heavier. And me and the dude just kind of like looked at each other, and we transferred it over anyway. And we just rang her up for the cups. And then we 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 completed her transaction, and then the manager walks over to me and him. He was just like, uh, thank you you guys. But like I guess like he was trying to like prove a point that we weren't actually doing what we were supposed to be doing. Because like the lady was like, I just felt bad for the lady, you know. I didn't want to like, I don't know, get her in trouble or
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
you know. So it was like, it was weird.
What a
Like if it was
dumb
another
thing.
person,
Yeah.
if it was another person, I probably would have been like, no. But like since she worked there and the lady had like, I think she had like 4 kids at the time, you know, and
Yeah.
she seemed overworked and stuff. Like I didn't want to like do that to her, you know?
Yeah. Get punished for doing a good thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what's like, you know what's like one of the worst things is when people talk about the company and like the CEOs and like the higher ups. Nothing is worse than a person who is like higher management or maybe like a supervisor of a district
And
who
they
let
don't
it,
know what.
they don't know and they let it get to their head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they don't understand what it's like. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
I I remember working at McDonald's. There were managers who let that power get to their heads so much, and
Yeah.
it's like calm down. You know,
Yeah.
um, when I worked at McDonald's, um, so we would get a truck order like 2 times a week, and every single time it never failed. When I was working, I was maintenance there at the end of it. I was in charge of putting the truck away though, and the manager who did the order, which it should have been, I should have been doing the order since I had to put it away, but she was doing the order, and every single time she would order in the child size cups, right? And every single time, and we didn't need them. We had way too many. We never used those anyway. Most of the time, kids get a small anyway, not the little, like these are the tiny ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like
And
really small.
she
Yeah.
kept ordering them in. So one time they came in one too many times. I took the whole box to the dumpster and I threw it in the dumpster. I turned on the compactor button and I left because it made me so mad that those things kept coming in.
Yeah.
And
Because you had to deal with it pretty
yeah,
much,
I
right?
had to deal with it.
Yeah.
I had to keep finding places for these cups. And we
Yeah.
had this shed out back by the dumpster that we're supposed to put extra stuff in. And I remember one time we opened it and the boxes had been eaten out by rats.
Oh god.
So,
Was it one of those like storage
so
container type
I,
things?
yeah, it was like literally it was a red shed. It looked just like a normal shed. Not even kidding.
Okay.
And I remember one time we had this one time we went out there and there was a cat had kittens in the shed. And
Man.
we didn't have rats anymore, but there were cats living in the shed now. And then I remember looking at the cat, and one of the truckers was like, "Hey, that's one of our favorite cats that's around here. Make sure not to get rid of it." And I was like, "Whoa!" The truckers have bonded with the cats out here.
The McDonald's shed cats.
Yeah, yeah. And eventually we had them removed. I remember, and someone went out and took care of the shed because I remember I was like, "I'm not cleaning the shed." It's like I'm not in charge of this.
Yeah.
And when I first started working at McDonald's, I worked with a guy. So this guy, just to give you an idea of how he was, he ended up walking out of the store and quitting, and then a week later, after he quit, he got arrested for making meth. And
Oh. Okay.
so this dude would clean out his closet and find cocaine, like would find an 8-ball. Which if you don't know what an 8-ball is, I believe that's a mix of heroin and cocaine. But he was pretty crazy. If you fart in a small lethal due to increased absorption. Huh. I don't know what that means.
What is this man talking about right now?
I don't know, he's kind of crazy though. But this dude one day he came in and this guy was a manager, by the way, I should say. He's like in his 40s. He came in limping one day, and he was late. And nobody knew where he was, and he just came in like probably like 6 hours too late for his shift. And he came in limping. He's like, "Sorry, I fell off my roof this morning."
Oh
And
god.
this dude had been to jail, and man, I remember being 16. I was terrified of this dude because every time we got too busy and was like kind of hectic, he would always threaten that he wasn't afraid to go back. I'm not even kidding. Like that was his thing.
That was his thing. I'm not afraid to go back to jail.
Dude, I was so terrified at 16 years old of this guy.
God.
Oh man. What a first job to have. I thought, man, I think I saw some of the worst humans on this planet, though. But one time we made fun of a manager because she called a 17-year-old kid hot, and she was like 32, and so we made fun of her and called her a pedophile.
That's hilarious. You guys just make fun of people.
Yeah.
I was responding to your whisper.
And she started crying. Let's see. I was responding to your whisper. You asked me to check the stream. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't think I whispered you, my guy. She's still working there? Oh, man. Oh,
God.
Wait, she left for a while and then came back. How do you know this woman? You weren't there yet, Caleb, when I did that, I thought. Maybe you were.
I mean, maybe he knows who you're talking about, though.
Morgan told you. Oh, okay. Is Morgan still there? Where's Morgan at? No, he left a while ago. Okay, I thought so. Anyway, but that's just talking about our jobs there.
Dude, McDonald's breakfast is better than their regular stuff.
Like McDonald's regular stuff has not. There was a time where McDonald's had some good like lunch, and they had like the jalapeno burger. That thing was good. The jalapeno ranch burger. They had like a habanero ranch burger too. That thing slapped. And they got rid of it all, and I remember that sucked. And then they had like the crunchy, whatever burger.
Crunchy.
It was like it had like Frito like tortilla chips on it. It had like a special sauce.
I think I do know what you're talking about.
Dude, I thought that thing was so good.
I never had it.
Man, you missed out.
I only really get like McDoubles.
Yeah.
I don't buy not Whoppers. What are they called? What is that thing called? The McDonald's
Big
burger?
Mac?
Yeah, Big Mac. I don't get that usually.
I don't either.
Yeah, but I love McDonald's breakfast though. Like McDonald's breakfast.
It's got a decent breakfast, honestly.
Yeah, like dude. Are you a McGriddle fan?
Yeah, you can eat those. Dude, I used to steal those by themselves when I worked there. I probably stole about 7 per paychecks worth of McGriddles in my career there.
Dude, McGriddles slap. McGriddles are so good. Like McDonald's did it.
Man, you bite into that little syrup pocket. Man, those things.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily like them with the sandwich. It was too much, but like just by themselves, those things were good. I think our burritos were decent there.
Dude, the hash browns are really good if you get them fresh,
just like the fries, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's made in the same grease, guys. Little.
So okay, quick question, just a little insider information here.
Yeah, of course.
How often is the grease changed?
And
when's the best time to go for grease changing?
So the grease change would be the first thing I would do in the morning. I would be allowed to change. So it's kind of hard to explain this. Do
they do partial changes or?
So basically, the way the fryers were split up, it was like you had a big vat, and then like in the back with like the McChicken and stuff. So I could change one big vat a day is what I was allowed. So I could do one fry one. So where the hash brown and fries were made, I could do one of those, or I could do the chicken. And the chicken ones were all split in half. So like 2 of those was like one grease vat. So I could do 2 of those technically, right? Except the nugget one was big, but the rest were all like in half. So, but I was allowed 1 of those a day. So I would try to like rotate them out. So I'd do the fry one day, I'd do a chicken one the day after, fry one the day after. So sometimes I would do more because they needed it, but most of the time that's how it worked. But I gotta tell you, man, if you saw like the refill thing, it's not like I have like a thing, you know what I mean, then pour it in there. I would press a button, and from a mysterious pipe from a container, grease would just shoot into the vat. It looks so gross. There's no way that it was clean, right?
Wait. So you don't know where the pipe came from?
No. So like literally an empty.
Who refilled it?
I don't know who came. I don't know how we got more grease. I really don't.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. I don't know how we got more grease. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who brought it. I really never knew. So I would have to take. So I would empty the old grease, and it would go into a drain, And then someone came and picked up the old grease. I know that, and I don't know
Okay.
where they
Okay.
took it. But the new grease, I never understood how we got more. I don't know when it came or anything. Nobody ever told me. I never asked. But you just press a button, and magically new grease would come.
But okay, but you took a majority of the shipments in, so it definitely wasn't
It wasn't a
like
shipment
delivered
thing.
then.
I don't think so. I think it was a separate group of people would bring in the grease. I don't know when they bring it though.
The grease people.
Yeah, the grease people. There was legitimately we had to call the grease people when the thing got full with the old grease, so, and like an alarm would go off to let us know. I remember one time we had some new managers and they didn't know what to do with the old grease, so they called the number that was on the thing, and it was such an old number that it didn't exist anymore, and they had
Oh,
no
wow.
idea what to do, and it was the funniest thing to me. That place was the worst part of telling someone to do something and it never getting done.
I can imagine.
I used to go in when I went in for my maintenance shifts. I had to be there at 5 a.m. and I would spend the first hour on top of the roof.
You're just slacking off, just on watching the sunset
You know how those big
or
trash cans
sunrise.
are, like on the wheels? You know what I mean, like the little circle wheels.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the stands on top of the wheel stand. We used to skateboard in the
Oh,
back.
yeah.
We used to do skateboarding in the back room on those.
God.
And we fell so many times, and we never got in trouble though.
Well, I'm sure, with your, methy manager, I'm pretty sure you never got in trouble.
Man,
That's light work compared to what he's done in his life. He's not afraid to go back.
Man, those managers, man, they were on some drugs. They don't ask me to do anything more. I just pretty much do table all day until the end of my shift. Table's where you make the sandwiches.
Oh.
That's better than what it was. I gotta say, it was the worst thing you can do is take the manager job there. They like lock you into like a 2-year contract and you have to pay something back if you don't complete it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. And I'm sure McDonald's is probably one of those places that try to just overwork you too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like Walmart's the same way, but dude, like and Sam's Club. Sam's Club was horrible for our managers.
I imagine.
Like they work so much. Like we'd close, leave at like 9, and they'd be right back there at 5 o'clock in the morning every single day, like with no like days off.
Yeah. It sounds terrible.
And those are those lifers. That's
those are the people who gave up on themselves.
Yeah,
They lost their
I can't do
self-worth.
it. Yeah.
Do you Clips, do you know anything about cryptocurrency?
A little bit.
Sam asked us to talk about cryptocurrency if we knew anything about it, but I invested in Dogecoin one time and that's all I got.
That's so I like to, or I liked to day trade crypto, just mostly Doge is when I really got into it, but I did purchase a little bit of Bitcoin before, or as it was booming, and made about, I think I only made like $5 because I only invested like 20. And I did mine a little bit of Ethereum. Yeah, $5. I mined a little bit of Ethereum, but it wasn't enough, and for some reason my wallet got messed up too.
Stocks.
Yeah, my digital wallet or my crypto wallet got messed up, so
I think
I
I'm
don't
gonna try
even
to
know.
get into stocks more. That's my plan for the next year. Is I do want to get into stocks more.
Dude,
Well,
you're probably gonna do long term, right?
yeah, probably.
Yeah, because like I like stocks, but I don't want to do long term. I don't really have like that much capital to do a long term thing. I don't even have enough capital to do day trading either, because with day trading, if you wanted to like hit a stock when it's dipping and then buy them,
Yeah.
and then sell when they're high and then sell the next day, if you do that too many times per week, uh, they'll block your account. They'll stop you.
Yeah.
You have to have $25,000 or more to actually day trade legally and legitly, which
Yeah.
sucks.
Which is silly. But no, I'm trying to retire with the Guinea and a Rari, you know?
No, I hear you. I hear you. That's why I like the crypto, because there's not really many restrictions for crypto, and
Yeah,
especially with day trading.
it's still the Wild West a little bit, which is
Yeah.
nice.
The
But,
only thing is just so volatile, and there's really no way. Like with
hi, Davey.
it's Davey.
Davey.
With stocks, you can kind of gather information and make a semi-educated guess. You still
Yeah.
won't exactly know how it's gonna go, but at least
Yeah.
you'll have an idea to make a safe-ish bet. But with
Right.
crypto, it's like it's too all over the place.
Right.
So,
It is
yeah.
pretty insane with crypto.
Yeah.
It's going good, Davey. How are you doing, man? We're doing a podcast, the Variety Pack podcast, minus the other guy.
The other guy's not here.
The other guy's not here because he didn't show up. Because he's an idiot. Crypto couldn't go eat ass in my opinion. Hot take. Hot take.
There it is. There it is.
Oh man. But no, it's so interesting because it seems like there's so many people who are, there's no one who's like kind of in the middle. You're either like really into it and then at some points you don't care at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people don't care at all. So
yeah. I will say mining crypto can be really fun, and I see why people do it.
How's it work? Do you like?
So the way I did it, I use like this website. It kind of joins you into a pool of other people.
Mhm.
But with my graphics card, for example, that I have now, I'll have to check again. But I could do, I think it was like $2 a month. I think, which is obviously not much. And that's profit, but that's like if your energy bill doesn't go up and everything like that, it calculates all that for you. So if you have like a 1080 Ti, which does like, I don't know, $15 a day or whatever, that'll pay for the graphics card over time,
Right.
and that's the shortage. So it's really cool, and it is really appealing to do. It's just you have to have the stuff to actually do it, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out when you can't find graphics cards, during all this. I'm wondering like who's just scalping, and just trying to make money and flipping it, and then I wonder who's using it for Bitcoin, for mining Ethereum and Bitcoin.
It's two different freaking factions that we're dealing with.
Yeah. It took a guy to say funny Dogecoin was a joke for people to lose their life savings. But, okay, to be fair, if you put your life savings into Dogecoin, you're an idiot and you deserve to be broke. So
I know a person. I'm not going to say their name, and I'm not going to say how I know this person. But I know a person who made 10,000 on Doge.
That's insane. That's good, though.
That's really good.
I still have some. I still have some in Doge. I have not checked it in weeks.
Dude, I mean, in a year, dude, you might be might be sitting on a mill.
Hey, I'm working on it. You know what I mean?
Elon does a couple tweets. Dude,
I'm gonna open the app like 14 years in the future and forget I had it, and I'm gonna have $17 million.
It's like you're walking outside and you see like a freaking Dogecoin on like whatever, a freaking bus or something, and it's like, oh, I remember that. Matter of fact, let me check that. Little do you know, it's the new coin.
Yeah, it's the new coin. It's the hot. And I have no idea. I'm just sitting on it, just chilling on it. Is the like $1 million pizza worth of Bitcoin? I don't know what you're talking about, Davey. I'm gonna be real with you. Type it out for me, though. Tell me what you're spitting about here.
Spit it.
Spit it for us.
Oh, by the way, Davey, I'm gonna start playing Tetris again.
Gross.
But it's fun.
Oh, of course it is. I
need to beat him.
Almost as fun as Brawlhalla, like the other guy would play. About 11 years ago, on May 22nd, Laszlo, one of the early adopters of the newfangled cryptocurrency that had just been coded into existence, purchased a pair of Papa John's pizza pies using 10,000 bitcoins. That's actually hilarious. But it wasn't worth that much then, so.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, if you could just...
10,000 bitcoins.
Yeah.
What is Bitcoin now? 40? Is it 40,000 or is it higher now? 50,000?
I don't know, fam. We're take a gander.
Take a look here.
Let's take a gander. We're sitting at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at $47,987.
Man, I don't even know how you would calculate that. What is that? What's 10,000? I guess we'll just do like 40K. Just easy. It's like $400 million.
$400 million.
Yeah. $400 million worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that. Yeah.
Oh, I just realized you asked what 40 times 10 was.
Yeah.
I wasn't even paying attention to the math at all.
It's just like, yeah.
We'll let that one slide.
Yeah.
Edit that one out, Caleb.
Started spewing some stuff.
Edit that one out. I just remembered I'm not even subscribed to our new podcast channel yet.
I subscribed, I think.
I haven't even subscribed yet. That's so funny. I forgot about it.
I'm day one.
Day one.
That's
you, man. Day one, clip 60. Sorry, I'll make a not in the old log. You meant to say note, but you said not. Lamau, what an idiot. Stick to editing and not spelling. You haven't played Tetris in so long, clips.
I'm gonna do it again.
Time to get out the old dust off the keyboard and get back in there.
Yeah. We have 17 views on it though, which is
nice.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Met Gala and how much I hated it and how it's so stupid. But maybe that's energy best saved, I don't know, that kind of stuff just annoys me so much, dude. And it costs when you hear it costs $30,000 for a ticket, it just annoys me even more.
That's ridiculous. Oh, one thing real quick, just kind of off topic here. I just wanted to talk about the podcast YouTube. I just want to know why this edit of me and the SpongeBob It's Beautiful thing is in here like this.
You didn't like it?
I mean, it was cool. It just didn't expect it. I thought it was funny.
It's kind of random in there. It's like Hunger Games in real world. What are you talking about?
He's talking about Met Gala.
Oh, the Met Gala. Oh, okay. Have you seen Jackson Pollock's paintings? There's a Jackson Pollock painting.
Probably an elephant that paints.
Jackson Pollock these nuts. Nice. God. Jackson Pollock and my balls. Did you Google it?
I did.
What is it? Is that an elephant?
Nah. It's one of those painting where the dude just slaps a bunch of paint, just slings paint.
Yeah, that's on that same level of the Met Gala. It's stupid, right? It's just pointless.
My freaking parents had a painting just like this. Let me find out.
Well,
it's gone now.
Parents were ahead of the game, huh?
It's destroyed wherever it is. Dude, we had one just like a lot of these, but then again, I mean, how do you even differentiate these from each other?
You don't, because it's stupid. And
it
nothing.
Is, yeah.
It's basically nothing.
Right? It's nothing, yeah.
It's nothing. That's what it is. A whole lot of nothing. I need to watch that thing on Bitcoin. Sam's told me to watch it before, but talking about the invention of it and how they don't know who actually made it and stuff. I need to learn. I kind of want to learn more about it. You should watch this one off stream. Is it a Jackson Pollock painting? Jackson Pollock?
Pollock sounds like a fish.
It doesn't. I disagree.
Pretty sure Pollock is a fish.
Okay. Whatever, man. Have you got to see Niagara Falls yet, Clips?
Not yet.
Is it in the itinerary?
Yeah.
Hey, is it hard going places with your kids?
No, it just requires more planning. Pollock is a fish.
Oh. My bad. My bad, dude.
No, it just requires more planning. It's not really hard. Like, people think that like that's like the biggest thing is like, oh, you won't be able to do anything. You can. It just requires you to do a little bit of planning.
Let me ask a question here. Clips, what if your daughter came in and said she wants a penis now instead and wants to be a boy? What if she did that? That's a question.
That is a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, the other guy. That's the other guy
Oh
question.
yeah, it's like it just jumps to an extreme. Gotta bleep that twice.
Oh man. Do you like? Because I imagine, did you and your wife ever do any vacationing before you guys had kids? Because you had kids pretty soon in your marriage, right?
Yeah. Um, Not technically, no. Um, I mean, we went when we were living in Mississippi. We went to Houston a
Yeah.
couple times, but it's not really a vacation. We were there visiting her family and stuff. So,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. When I was growing up, I would have considered it a vacation. So, I mean,
We're an hour and a half in. I'm gonna have to watch it all just to catch it. we need to go in on a pot for Caleb to pay him for these services.
should we be capping these, like as far as the time, or like I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we should stop going over 2 hours because I was like, the
Yeah,
last one was 3.5 hours. I was like,
yeah.
that is too long for people who don't matter. You know what I
And
mean?
I was thinking like, especially with Caleb editing it, it's like he has to
Yeah,
go through
yeah,
all of
yeah.
our like just extraness. Like,
We said goodbye 70. It
yeah,
took me about 4 hours to upload.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think 2 hours is a good cap limit for us. We just normally we have the other guy, sir, talks too much, uh, doesn't let you get a word in. Uh, Mr. Ice Cube himself. Um, but yeah,
Ice Cube.
yeah, that's what he is. Yep. You have 76 ice cubes in your cup, and he is number 77. And the first time I didn't verify the channel, so I had to re-upload it. Yeah, I forget about that being a thing. That's annoying. Yeah. We appreciate your service, sir. You didn't
Yeah,
have to do
it
that
was
for
really
us.
nice.
You didn't
Yeah,
have to do that, but we appreciate it. Appreciate you.
appreciate you,
Appreciate you.
partner.
Partner. Don't worry, Caleb. If this ever takes off, we'll pay you well. Don't worry. We'll pay you in Bitcoin. And Bitcoin and Ethereum and NFTs.
We're all digital over here.
Yeah. You'll get 1 Bitcoin share. Actually, that'd be pretty good. So
Dude, that's a lot.
yeah, that's a lot right now.
Dude,
Never mind. You get
that's a lot.
you get $1 worth of Bitcoin, and where it goes from there is up to God. One person to cut you off the most is my father. My dad doesn't talk to me. I'd like to negotiate my contract. I'll give my lawyer contact info. You'll get my social media influence. How tall is Jacob?
I'm taller than him.
That's not true, dude.
Okay.
Literally,
Okay.
the
All right,
first
wait,
words out of your
wait,
mouth.
wait,
No,
wait.
you don't get to. Before I say this, literally, we meet in Houston. The first thing you say
I
is,
said like this, like you're taller than I
you said,
thought.
"Oh, you're taller than me." That's what you said. You are taller than me.
Well, we didn't like measure though.
Dude, you said your exact words.
I think I was just surprised that you were as tall as you were.
Dude, you said, we meet, we get out of the car, you're in your Dodge truck, I'm in Alicia's Bug, we get out, we meet for the first time, you said, "Oh, you are taller than me." That's what you said. 5'9".
Oh, I'm 5'10".
Dude, no, you're not. Shut up. Then
Yes, I am.
Then I'm 5'11", apparently. I'll have to redeem these some other time, Davey. These aren't podcast perks, unless, of course, you do the Papa John's pizza. Yeah, you probably are taller than me. Most people are. My point is I'm taller than Clips. Is all I'm saying.
I wouldn't say that's not like completely accurate.
And I'm probably taller than the other guy too.
Oh yeah, because I'm taller than the other guy.
Oh yeah, for sure. And since I'm taller than you, by verbatim. There's crumbs in my chair. I just realized. better at
I'm better than
Tetris
you at
because I'm
Tetris
taller
'cause
than
I'm
you.
taller. Okay, Davey, how tall are you?
Davy's 7'4". I gotta
Okay,
pee. I'll be back. Keep him
all
entertained.
right. Okay, I'll try. Hey, so what do you guys want to talk about? I mean, if we're equating like height to skill, I don't. I mean, I don't really know. 5'10", dude. We're the same height. If you're taller than me, I mean, you're not taller than me. I mean, and if you're equating height to skill, then we're the same. You're 5'7". Honestly, you look taller than Jacob. Your cat's 1'1". Okay, let's talk about your major in school. Schlag told me it was network stuff. I think. Yeah. So I'm taking um I guess the official major would be computer science, information technology. Um, how much? How much do I weigh? Oh, him. Computer science, information technology. And mostly, it's mostly networking. But there is some programming. I haven't actually started doing the programming part yet. Before I finished last year, I was supposed to start a class in programming, C sharp, but I never actually got to that point because I kind of got finagled out of a class. So
Hey,
yeah,
I was thinking about this while I was peeing.
yeah.
No, it was weird when we first met in Houston, person to person. Answer his question.
What? Oh,
What'd you say?
very nice. C sharp is not my favorite, but transfers. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to start with C++. And actually, it wasn't even C sharp that I was going to learn. It was going to be Swift, which is a branch of C sharp, or maybe just C in general. No, I think it's C sharp is a branch of Swift, or Swift is a branch of C sharp. But I wanted to learn like Java, Python, stuff like that, more object oriented stuff, which I think Python is, so I can roll into C++ because I feel like C++ is more uh, versatile in especially in getting a job and whatnot. I mean, people see C++ and it like, I mean, it's like kind of like the language to know. What were you saying when we met? What?
Oh, when we first met face to face in Houston for the first time,
Mhm.
regardless of who was taller here, but it was weird seeing you and being like us being like around the same height, basically. Because
Did you
it's
picture
so
me taller?
right. It's so. But here's what it is I met you when I was 12 years old. You were 17.
Okay, wait, hold on, wait.
On Xbox. On Xbox, right?
Okay.
That we first played when we were first playing Xbox together. I was 12, you were 17. I haven't even hit my puberty voice yet. So you, in my head, 17 to a 12-year-old is like really close to an adult. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I get you. Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's kind of weird that I never grew out of that perception of you being an adult, while even though I became an adult too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was so wild to meet with someone that you played video games with through your year. We were playing video games through basically all my teenager years, almost. There was some time where obviously we had a little fall off there because you went and had a family. Obviously.
Well, I mean,
yeah, and you switched to PC before I did and stuff like that. Which makes sense.
Master Race.
Yeah, whatever.
I wanted to ask you too about the Xbox days. Do you remember Danger Girl and Waterga?
I do remember both of them. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Is that it?
I just wanted to ask.
Do you remember? Man, we could bring up all kinds of Xbox names we used to play with. Do you remember the? I don't know if you played with them at all. I used to play with these rednecks from Virginia. Do you remember them at all? It was like, oh man, I wish I could remember their name. Oh,
I don't think so. I want to say no.
Yeah. Do you remember the two guys, the brothers from Maryland we would play with? Brian and
Yeah, Brian and Brandon, yeah.
Brandon, yeah.
Yeah. I have Brian as a friend on
I do
Facebook
too, and I
actually.
still see him update. I've seen him post some pictures and stuff. And it's like I don't even remember seeing him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's wild to think we were playing with them then, and we would play like
yeah.
Forza and I think Call of Duty sometimes.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
just so
yeah.
wild.
Jank,
Jank,
Jank was.
Jank. Remember Jank? I remember Jank. Jank,
uh,
Jank was the maddest player ever,
yeah,
and he was
Jank
like,
was.
he was like such a calm guy. He was either calm or the ragiest human being ever.
Yeah, he was the calmest or the sweatiest person, like that would just rage instantly.
Yeah. Davey, you bring up when you talked to me, and I never remembered it. You brought it up, and I do not
Like,
remember it.
like,
He
like
apparently said words to me, but I do not remember that.
Davy's never talked on. Davy doesn't have a voice. Davy is a computer.
That's what my head tells me.
Yeah,
But that little twitchy mode on his Discord picture, that's who Davey is. But
yeah,
uh but
exactly.
Jank was and then we played with the dudes who were from Florida. I think they were better friends with your brother, but like Daquan and
Yeah,
DeAndre.
DeAndre. Yeah.
And I forgot what his name was. King. It was King something was his gamer tag. I'm trying to remember. It started with a J, I think. You know what I'm talking about, though.
I think his real name Steven or something like that.
I don't think so. Oh
Yeah,
man, I
okay.
wish I could remember his name.
Do you remember when we played Black Ops? Did you play Black Ops? You
Yeah,
played Black
yeah.
Ops,
I
right?
played Black Ops with this guy too, and I forgot his name. He was real nice. Me and him used to play like just me and him playing a lot too. Uh,
Was it I don't remember his
he
name. I
was
think I know who
um
you're talking about.
he was black. I can tell you that. I just don't
I
remember his name.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. I want to say his name is Steven, but I don't think
You know,
that's
it's
right.
weird. I remember his gamer avatar had a mohawk. That's what I remember. As a black dude with a mohawk was his gamer avatar, like this little person.
I don't remember. King of the Hill.
That's definitely not. Don't make fun of us, please.
Yeah.
But uh, he was man. It was him, and then you had your one friend. Was it Granddaddy Perp? Was his Xbox name?
Yeah, who
Oh yeah, the thing. Oh
went
my
on
god,
to
the
went on to
thing,
do some
the
went on to
thing.
do some
Oh
do a thing.
man, I forgot
Yeah.
about the thing, dude.
Yeah, the thing.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Let's
my
not get into
gosh.
the thing right now.
No, we don't need to get into the thing. Oh my
We don't need to get
gosh.
into the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, just like without mentioning, did you ever find out anything more about that after we
I
talked?
haven't.
Okay, I was just
No.
curious. Okay.
I thought about messaging the uh I guess ex-girlfriend
Uh huh.
uh who was the you know uh
Yeah, yeah.
but I didn't. I feel like it was
Not your place, probably.
yeah, not my place, and it's kind of like it's over that
Yeah,
chapter and that person,
bringing up
is
that kind of thing. Yeah, for
yeah,
just
yeah,
curiosity reasons. Yeah, I
yeah,
get
yeah,
you. No, that's wild. That's wild.
yeah.
I used to. Yeah, I wish I could see where everyone is at though that we all played with, even people
I know.
that you never played with that I played with at first, and like Danny. I wonder how Danny's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Freaking Danny. And remember, I used to play with a guy named Skater Ryan, and
See, when I I started playing games originally, or when I got on Xbox, I had a shared account with all my brothers, and I met Danny on that account, or
uh-huh.
not Danny, his brother, Jumpman,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah,
Yeah. I met his brother and I started playing with his brother originally. And we played a couple games, but then he never got back on. And then Danny would get back on, or
yeah,
Danny was always on his account. And then I think I met you through Danny.
yeah. That's how because I met Danny first. Um, I'm
And
trying.
then, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's so wild to think about making friends online, and it was the first time I had like, because before you had friends from like I was in grade school at the time, but and I remember none of my friends had Xboxes, and because they were too poor to, and I remember it was being kind of like bummed that I couldn't play, and then when my family got somewhat better than dial-up internet.
yeah.
And you first get on Xbox Live, and I'm just playing with actual people, and then you start making friends on there. It's just a wild thing to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so, especially back then, it was like, kind of like, it felt like a whole new like era or just like cool like thing. Then he was on Twitch not that long ago.
He streams on
Yeah.
Twitch.
What? Wow.
Like he streams on Twitch. He does on occasion. Does he like face cam and stuff? Danny was actually out there, like in crazy.
Yeah, he was out
I don't
there.
know if he doesn't face cam. Oh, okay, that actually
Okay.
doesn't surprise me though. Oh man, Danny was something. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And
Danny
then
was my
Euro.
that yeah, that was, yeah, Giro, and then he apologized because he said he bullied me, and I never felt that way, but he Facebook messaged me that he bullied me, and I was like, I don't remember it like that, but if that's how you feel. You had that one guy Tesla you would play with who was a
Yeah,
communist.
Tesla didn't like you.
Yeah, Tesla didn't like me. You know what? I give him reason, but there were times where he didn't like me though, and he was just mean to me when I didn't even really instigate anything. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
He almost had like a like as soon like it didn't matter how I was gonna be. He did not like me.
Yeah.
I remember one time
You
we were
know.
just playing something, and he just like got real like shitty about something like for barely any reason. Like it was like one of those things that was kind of bad, but not like
You were
enough.
you were Squeaker.
Yeah, well, even after I got past that point, I think he didn't like me either. Just because, again,
Yeah.
it all comes from like, you know, just a
Him,
thought he had
him
for me
being
before. You know,
him being a communist.
he was a communist, which was wild. Didn't he live in
Yeah.
Australia or something like that? He's an Australian
Yeah.
who lived with,
Yeah.
and he actually thought communism was the answer.
Yeah. I think he lived in like I think Colorado. No, not Colorado. He lived somewhere and then moved to Australia.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, really
And then
weird.
there was another guy that I played with, and I think you might have played him a couple times. He was like a doctor.
I do remember
Uh,
him.
a
His name
doctor,
was actually Doctor something.
Doctor French Toast. Was that it?
That was it, Doctor French
Toast.
Toast.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and they called him Toast. Yeah, Doctor French Toast. Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
who was an actual like legit doctor, from what I understand
yeah,
at
yeah.
least.
That's what we heard. He was
Yeah,
kind of crazy too.
yeah.
I remember that. You met a couple of Marxists in your time in college. Yeah, I think that's more of a thing now. It's wild to see a communist back in that time, you know, on an Xbox game. Just talking to someone. Which at that time, I mean, I personally had no concept of politics. I'd be like, okay, whatever, you know. But
Oh, you didn't have any.
it was a different time. It was an easier time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Back when you didn't have to care. What are you getting at? Wait, hang on. I didn't like how you kind of suddenly got at something there.
Let's
No,
see.
you didn't.
I don't get people who dislike squeakers. I get it if it's for something they're doing.
I guess
But
it's
if they're
just
just doing
easy
it.
to be annoyed at a high pitched voice, and I mean,
I mean, it never bothered me, honestly.
well, obviously, yeah, we were
Yeah,
friends.
yeah, I guess.
But you're a nice guy, Clips. I personally, I don't know if I could have put up with me. It's like my eccentric personality now mixed with a more annoying voice, you know. Which I probably was more off the edge back then, though, you know. So
Well, I mean, you didn't start off on the edge and then you got off the edge.
that's
You
true.
know, I mean,
It changed with time, right? Yeah.
God.
Oh man, that's so funny. But yeah, but it's just wild thinking about all the people that you used to play with and don't even care about anymore, which I think is a relatable thing for anyone who played video games during that time period. Who I
Yeah.
think everyone has an online friend that they have no idea what they're up to.
Yeah, I always see the memes like last logged in
Yeah.
2015. Yeah,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
and that's
Oh,
true.
King Abel. Is that the name? King Abel?
I really don't think that was it. You know what? His name may not have been. Oh, it was Ghost Rider something. Ghost Rider.
Oh, I remember Ghost Rider. Yeah, okay, I remember that.
I was messing up there. Not King something.
I
Ghost
remember the
Rider.
name.
Ghost Rider. But he was over in Florida too.
Yeah.
He was one of those Florida dudes. I don't know if you knew him because they were all pretty young. How's your brothers doing? How's your brother Ethan doing?
He's good.
Does he still
Chilling.
do any? I mean, is he living at home still?
I think so. I don't know.
Is he
I don't really.
not married or anything? Okay, you don't. Oh, I
No,
forgot. You don't keep up with him.
No. I mean, we talk from time to time, but I have a RuneScape friend who I added on Snapchat, and he's 66 years old. Huh?
uh,
Yeah.
I don't. I don't like people who mix horniness into friendship. That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna say there were people who were too comfortable with their sexuality with their friends. You know what I mean? And like in a
Oh,
sense
we have
that,
a friend like that.
oh yeah, I mean
No,
the
other
other
guy.
guy, the other guy, the other guy. He then went on to get a Twitch girlfriend. Huh? What a guy!
Oh,
What a game!
I had some RuneScape friends. Well, I never actually. I was too young at that point to like exchange like actual social media information. But like, there was a couple girls. But at knowing what I know now, they were probably dudes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they were probably dudes. Never mind. Just we danced next to a bed in RuneScape.
Oh, oh,
We took it to the next level.
oh man,
That's
gonna be
yeah.
one of the most virgin things I've ever heard.
I was like 14, I think.
It's weird.
I might even be younger.
I never in my time had interest in having a
You
online
never
girlfriend.
you never did the online girlfriend thing.
No, I just never. It was always so weird. There was a long point of time where I really just did not want a girlfriend though, and just wanted to make money.
I get it. Yeah.
But that went away. But it's
Sex is temporary, gaming is forever.
yo, amen, dude. God, that's so true. Imagine. I always think about that. Imagine like if I just didn't care, you know. A guy I worked with, I offered to show me nudes he'd gotten from a girl. I was like, nah, man, I'm good.
That's so weird.
First off, that's not cool to the girl.
Yeah, I had dudes. There. Okay, so for me, like it's always like the dude who always wants to show me like the vulgar pictures, like ends up being like a gay guy for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like not the actual picture, but himself. But
Yeah.
he shows me picture of naked girls. This has happened to me several times in my life for whatever reason. I don't know.
I want to hear about this.
This
could be a Reddit
weird.
post.
I don't know. It was just me and him, and he just shows me this imagery. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that's good, Davey. You never had a working mic. But Davey, you have to
That's
remain
gonna be fun.
voiceless. That's your persona. You only type. That's your image now.
He's like Microsoft Dan or Dave or whatever it is.
Microsoft Dave. There we go. That's his name now.
Yeah.
Microsoft Dave.
Microsoft
He's a robot.
Dave.
Did friends who seriously like did it as like a joke, I think, you know what I mean, when he did, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
the other guy, I basically told him that's not cool to her, and he was like, you know, that's a real mature outlook.
You made him have an awakening.
Wow, Kale.
He's like,
no, because I said the thing again. I said the other guy's name. But like,
oh, we hit our 2-hour mark.
yeah, we can wrap it up. But guys who seriously like show even like porn as like and me like, oh, this is hot, check this out. That's a weird dude, you know? Like,
yeah. No, I agree.
Like,
absolutely.
That's just it's just a strange thing to do, to be like, hey, here's the porn that I'm watching. like let's compare notes.
Yeah, like I had this is another gay guy. We were riding home on the bus and
he sucked you
off. No, what? No.
Oh,
he had a PSP at the time.
Oh.
And he just had porn on there.
Dude.
And but it was like this bald guy, and he put his head in her, you know, like his whole head. Yeah. Or at least like, you know, a cradle cap.
That's a guy who ends up killing people later. That's who watches that kind of thing. You know what I mean? If you're like, it's one thing if it's normal, but then if you start showing, isn't it? Hang on, let me think how I want to word this. But there was a kid in my grade school who was showing, they got in trouble because they were showing other kids porn on their PSP. What was going on with the PSP?
The PSP apparently was that's where it was at.
PlayStation porn.
Yeah, PlayStation 4. Yeah, I guess so.
Oh man, that's so funny though. Like, what people are so. There's guys out there who are legitimately like addicted, to like porn, and that's kind of a bummer to think about. Like, it's their reliant, like, I don't know. It's just wild to me that there's guys who like want to share notes, basically. Like, it's a hobby. It's their hobby. Oh man. And then if it's weird stuff like a dude shoving his whole head into some woman, that's again that guy probably will go on to be just like Mr. What was his name? Who's that? The Murdaugh guy. That's who that goes on to be. That's the guy who ends up killing his wife and son with a shotgun and semi-automatic rifle, and then running another kid, and then trying to shoot himself in the head to give his son money. That's it. That's what that guy grows up to be. That's actually probably him right there. That's
might be.
He went from Florida to South Carolina, became an attorney. That's what happened.
Man.
Man. Man.
Life takes you places.
Life takes you places. Quarter mile at a time.
Quarter mile at a time.
Man. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up. This has been the Variety Pack Podcast, episode 3. Just
without the other guy.
Just Jake and Zach, not the other guy. Not the other guy. And we'll make sure Caleb says he'll go out and bleep the names. If he misses a few, that's okay. That's not the point. We're at 2 hours and 3 minutes. That's pretty good. I think that's the best time we can do. Again, like 3.5 hours was way too long last time. So
yeah,
Caleb will try his best, and that's all we ask for. You don't even have to try your best. You try a little bit, we'll take that.
Yeah, you just. I mean, honestly, yeah.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and end it there. Any final thoughts, Clips? Are you good?
No. I don't think I have any thoughts for the YouTube people. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I guess. Probably didn't. But that's the thank you is here. If you did.
Hopefully next week we have the other guy, because he definitely. As much as we make fun of him, we do like him. He does complete a trio that we got going on here. Also, we're 75% white right now. This isn't okay. This doesn't help the Variety Pack Podcast image.
It's not a very variety.
Yeah, Clips is gonna have to start tanning if we keep this dynamic up. All right, that's the only thing that'll work.
I mean, I can get my wife.
Oh, that's a great idea. We could get her. She's a woman and black. That's
right. Should we add a woman to the podcast? I mean, I don't know how that would even work.
I mean, we want this to be fun, right?
Okay. All right.
I'm just kidding.
We're gonna go. We need to go ahead and just end it here.
I've never talked to your wife. Do you really want?
No. I mean, not necessarily my wife.
Oh, okay. You mean we should just find a woman?
Like just another, I don't know, probably gamer chick.
We can go to epals.com and rent one. For an hour.
We could do that, actually. We can all pitch in.
That would be hilarious, actually.
That would be funny,
a joke. There would be a joke. I would feel bad. Man, I don't know. There's some.
That would be great.
That
honestly,
would be pretty funny.
That's good. That's good content right there.
Yeah, it is good content. Did I hear back-to-back podcasts tomorrow? Hey, if says he'll do it, I would do another one tomorrow.
I'm down. Yeah,
we got some more stuff we could talk about, but
we got a couple things.
I'm sorry. Well, you know what? Don't. Yeah, the other guy. You said it again.
I didn't even realize.
If the other guy gets on, the other guy gets on tomorrow.
Dude, this is gonna be.
I just want him to message us back. He's dead right now, as far as we know. So.
That's true. I mean, he didn't answer the actual phone call, legit phone call.
The most infuriating thing about this guy is that he appears offline on Discord.
I know.
So we don't know when he's on ever. And he does it for no reason, dude. He does it for no.
I don't know who this dude is hiding from, but
I don't get it. I don't get him. By the way, you know what also is awkward about him is like when we're talking, like we throw in a random third party that he doesn't like. Let's say if it was Sam, if we threw Sam in the mix, he would not join the Discord with me, you, and Sam in it. You know what I mean? Just because he doesn't know Sam well enough.
Yeah.
And same with my brother, and stuff like that. Even though Caleb is literally editing our stuff right now.
Yeah.
Which we appreciate you. But either way, I would do it again if he wants to get on, but he has to get on.
So yeah, I'm down.
He probably won't because he's.
Is that the soda popping cat? Oh no.
No, it's my glasses.
Oh.
But it's.
Oh wait, no, I was talking about the soda popping cat.
Oh,
or the cat emote.
Oh, the cat emote. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he probably won't because it's also Sunday. He goes to bed at 9 p.m. So.
But no. Mondays is the off day from the gym for him. So it's possible. It's possible.
Okay.
He doesn't wake up at 5 a.m.
That's true.
So
how does he have dedication to do that, but he can't show up for this? But
that's actually a good question.
What is he?
This dude is dedicated 6 days a week, gym time, rigorous sleep time.
He meal preps.
He meal preps.
You know what he has to do for this? Sit down.
Can't show up. Can't turn on a webcam for, let's just say, 3 hours.
Sit down.
For 3 hours, have a conversation with the boys, you know?
Which, by the way, he like gets so motivated to do this once every 5 months, and then he dies after 3 episodes of us doing it. He loses it, and it's because I'm beginning to wonder if it's because we keep bringing up the camera issue. Because he won't. Is he really that? Is he that against turning on his camera?
Maybe he is. I mean, but we shouldn't. I don't know. We can't let the podcast die this time. This is what, attempt 3?
Yeah, no, we can't do it.
This is attempt 3.
Won't I have to tell you my address for the Papa John's pizza? Well, if you ever get there. You know what? We'll deal with those details when you get there, Davey, because I'm sure there's still quite some time before you get there.
Probably got a little while.
There's probably a little while before anyone gets that Papa John, gets that sweet Papa John's pizza. But
I don't like the way you just did that.
I'm sorry. The other guy was here. He would like it.
He probably would.
Oh yeah, you could make you pick it up. That's true. I could not deliver it to you. Just make you pick it up.
Yeah. No doxing of information here.
That's true. That would help. I mean, you can give me your address. I'm never gonna come find you. I wouldn't want to do that. That's too much work.
Does seem like a lot. People who do that are like crazy.
Oh yeah, they're crazy. I'm not there yet.
That's another topic. That's another podcast topic. Parasocial relationship between people online that they don't know.
Yeah, that's true. It's gross. You would know. You had an internet girlfriend. What was her name?
It was like
Amy?
Yeah.
I don't remember her gamer tag. What was her gamer tag?
That was Watergo.
Oh, that was Watergo. You're right. Yeah, that's great. I don't know why I thought Watergo was. Yeah, Watergo. What is that? No. Yeah, I remember Watergo. I remember Cards Fan.
Yeah. And Danger Girl. Danger Girl was Watergo's friend, but yeah. But I was just.
Well, Davey, the issue is you're white. We had a thing going here. This was the theme. We had a Hispanic man. We had a half black guy, and then we had me, who was white. We can't just be buttoning it up with more white people. We at least need you to be a woman. An e-girl.
Maybe Davey is a woman.
No way. No way. I put money on that. But no.
Okay.
No, we'll have to get Sagi up here. We'll have to get an Asian in here. I don't know if I'd like that. I actually don't think
we could do. I mean, we could if is regular. I wouldn't
mind
doing
name.
Oh God!
If the other guy is regular,
we could do a rotating fourth
chair.
Guest spot.
Yeah.
You know, every I don't know.
I'm like
4 episodes or so.
Oh man. I mean, yeah, we could bring other people on if, as long as is in the mix too, right?
No, the other guy.
I just got onto you for it too.
Dude, you just got on.
Sorry, Caleb. Tell you what, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you guys for watching. This one has been sponsored by Pringles Scorching barbecue chips.
No.
We love these chips. These are
turn the can around. Turn the can around.
Pringles Scorching barbecue chips.
No,
some of the best.
The other way,
chips.
so the label is not showing.
These chips, they bring a little spice to your life, and wash down that spice with a nice cold Mountain Dew Voodoo. Out in stores now. Get it while it's hot. It's the Halloween flavor.
And this episode was also sponsored by
we gotta
Heinz
end it with the
tomato
dunk.
ketchup.
We gotta end it with the dunk. Off the backboard 360 to close it out. All right.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's see the fadeaway.
It's not a fadeaway. It's off the board.
Oh, yeah, dunk. Okay. Yeah. No, you're right. Okay.
Let me get my pants up.
Okay. That's really high. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Yo, that was an NBA Jam dunk right there. What? Yo, NBA Street. Yo. Yo.